Do you want to learn how to make these super cute snowmen out of shapes in Cricut Design Space? It's super easy and I'm going to show you how. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm the crafter and designer behind this channel, and I'm here to help you get the best out of your Cricut machine, how to become your own designer and understand how to create your own files. And today we're making these super cute snowmen. So we've got a printed cut version, and then we've got a layered version which I've built up of multiple layered images, and I designed them all just using the free shapes bar in Cricut Design Space. You can make anything out of shapes in Design Space. It's just about getting your head around how the shapes work, how to use slice, weld and the contour tool to create and design your own files. These are great for scrapbooking layouts, making gift tags because you can write on the back of them, or making greeting cards and Christmas decorations. So let's hop onto Cricut Design Space and let's make snowmen. So we're going to start by grabbing some free shapes from the shapes bar. So you're going to want a circle, a rectangle and a square, and you will also want a triangle. So I've not got that. I'm going to go back in and grab that, and they're the shapes that you're going to use to make your snowmen. So first of all, you're going to duplicate your circle and you're going to make the next one slightly bigger. We're going to make this a free snowball snowman, and then we're going to do the same again. So you've got your free parts of the snowman body, and when you're happy with all of your free layers, you can make sure that they're central. I'm going to just duplicate that so I've got a circle, and then you can weld them together. Now once they're welded together, you can go to the top and you can unlock them, and what that's going to do is you're going to just drag it so that they're not proper circles, so they're just slightly chunkier. I'm going to turn that white, and then I'm going to turn my background grey just so I can see what I'm doing. So now we're going to put the snowman's buttons on. So I've just made a circle small. I'm going to duplicate that, and then I'm going to move that underneath. They do tend to drag bigger and smaller, but I'm not going to worry too much if they're not exactly the same size. So I'm just going to do that till I've got my 4 snowman buttons. So once you've got your 4 buttons in line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the snowman. So I'm just going to drag it out of the way, and then I can make sure that my buttons are aligned. So select all, go to the top to the align tool and align them horizontally. Then I'm going to select them all and weld them together, because if you want to slice them out, they need to be one image. So now they're all welded as one image, I can position my snowman, right click, select both layers and slice, and that's going to weld the buttons out. Next step is to make the eyes. So we're going to work on a similar process of just positioning the eyes where we want them. And then I'm going to move the snowman again, weld the eyes together. Then I'm going to pop the snowman back, and then I can slice the eyes out of the snowman. So you just want to position them in the right place, because what we're going to do is we're going to do a back black layer. So that's going to be the colour of the eyes and the buttons. So we haven't got too many fiddly bits. And now we're going to make the carrot nose. So we're going to unlock this triangle. Obviously a carrot isn't perfectly square or pointed on the edges, so what we're going to do is we're going to add an offset, and this is a really clever way to change shapes. So when you add your offset, it becomes much more rounded and it looks a bit more carrot-like. I mean, I'm not going to put grooves in and stuff because it's too tiny, but I'm just going to make sure that I've got my carrot shape so I can pop that in. We're not putting a mouth on this snowman because I am mindful of how tiny it is, but I think your carrot nose does the job there anyway. So we're going to move that to one side just so that it's out of the way for the minute, and now we're going to grab a circle and we are going to duplicate the circle, put one to one side, and I'm going to unlock one of the circles and drag it wide, and you'll see in a minute how easy it is to make a scarf once you get your head around it. So I'm going to hover that over the other circle, slice it out, and then I've got the top of a scarf. So I'm going to keep that bit, I'm just flipping that over, because I'm going to use the top bit as well, because that's going to be the flying bit of the scarf, for want of a better word. Now I'm going to enlarge them at top of the circle again, and I'm going to just drag it there, send it to the back, and you can see on that bottom circle I'm going to just cut out again. So when you look, I've almost sliced a curved bit of the middle of the circle, and that works perfectly as a scarf, or the start of a scarf. So I'm just going to pop that there. Then I'm going to grab a square and I'm just going to slice off the end of this scarf, or the end of this piece of waste. In my mind it's the scarf already, and I'm going to flip it on there. You want to see a bit of an overlap with your scarf. I'm going to unlock it, I think, and just make it a little bit fatter, and because it's just about having a bit of control and doing what you want to do. So when you unlock it, you can drag it a bit fatter, or you can, like I'm doing now, put an offset on. So I'm not going to move anything out of the way there. I'm just going to weld all that together. So weld, and there is my scarf. And it's just part of a circle and a scrap, and that makes a scarf. It's so easy to do. So we're going to colour that now. So I'm going to make my scarf pink. So I do like to colour with the colours I'm cutting out, because it just makes it easier when you're sending it all to cut. Now we're going to just pop the carrot back into position, and we're going to group this together. It's starting to take shape now, so I love that. But when you group it, then at least if you resize it, it will all resize together. So now we're going to make the hat, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a square and a rectangle. I'm going to unlock them and just drag them a bit so that they're in the position. I want quite a square chunky hat. And then what I'm going to do is, once I've got them where I want them, I'm going to then create an offset. And what the offset is going to do is it's just going to make it a bit more rounded, and that's going to form my hat. And then what I'm going to do then is just drag that into position. I want that to be at the front because that's going to be a layered part. We're going to have a back layer as well for it to sit on, and I'm going to colour it black. I'm going to cut that in black glitter, so I can get rid of all those bits now. And now we're going to make the snowman arms. So grab a square, unlock it, and we're going to drag it down thin to create the first part of the arm. What we're going to do is duplicate that, and then with this bit here we're going to unlock it again, and this is what we're going to use to make the little branch hand. So if you just hover over the corner, you should be able to turn that round, pop that into position on your arm and duplicate it. So once you've duplicated it, again hover and turn it so that you're creating a little stick hand almost. Pop that in there. Then we're going to go back to the arm. I am going to just drag that to make it a little bit thicker, because you've got to be able to cut it out. Duplicate another hand and drag that round. Pop that into position, and you want it to be a bit uneven, and I'm going to weld that together, and that's going to make the perfect arm. So I'm going to pop that on there. I'm going to get rid of that bit because I can just duplicate this and then flip it. And you just do that by going to the top bar, clicking on flip and horizontally flipping. And once you've done that, you've got your two arms. Now the next stage is to position them where you want them. So I'm going to click on the corner and just drag it. And you've got to get this right now, because we're going to position everything where we want it so that we can create an offset. So I'm going to just group all of that together. Then I'm going to change my arms brown because I'm going to cut them with brown card. I'm going to tilt my hat slightly too. I'm just going to click on it and just rotate it ever so slightly so it tilts at an angle. It's a bit more snowman-y. And then we are going to select all and create an offset. And this is going to create a back layer. So we're going to create it, I think, just a tiny one, or even at 0. And once you've got your offset, you can turn it black. Now, if you look, you can see the buttonhole. So I'm going to go into the contour tool, and I'm going to remove all of the contours, and that then creates a back layer to build the file on. Now I'm going to make one layer. I've duplicated this. I'm going to select all, and I'm going to make one layer into a sticker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that contour because I don't want the contour to overlap on the sticker or the printable layer. So I'm going to select all, click on offset and put it on 0 because I don't want any offset. I just want a back layer. Click apply. Again, you need to remove your contours. So I'm going to go to the contour tool, hide all the contours, turn the layer black and send it to the back. Then I can select all, just find that offset layer, make sure that it is black, it looks more grey. Yeah, make that black. Select all, go to the bottom and click flatten, and you can see the difference straight away. That's made that into a print and cut layer. So what I've done is I've gone back and I've changed the offset on the cut snowman because I prefer it on a 0, so I've done that also. And now we're going to just duplicate and make a few of the printables just so that I can make some gift tags. So I'm going to duplicate my cut snowman and cut 2 of those out. And then while I'm making a print and cut sheet, I might as well make a few more of the print and cut and just fill a sheet, because I'm just going to put them to one side for gift tags. So I'm going to make them a little bit smaller first, and then I'm going to position these. So I'm just going to select them, duplicate, and do enough to fill a sheet so that they're not wasted, or that the paper isn't wasted. So I've just positioned them like that. I'm going to pop one at the bottom and flatten it. And it might be a bit big, this, but if it's a bit big, I will get the red dot. So yeah, I can just unflatten, remove one of them, and then just have enough to fill the sheet. You could work out perfect measurements, but it's just sometimes easier just to look for the dot and just adjust it. The dot means that it's too big to print and cut, but there you go, that was perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send that to print and cut. I'm going to use my printer settings and I'm going to remove the bleed. The bleed doesn't matter on this, but I don't tend to use it. I'm going to click print, reduce it down because it hasn't appeared, and it's behind Design Space, and I want the best quality. Then I can print it off on heavy cardstock. And here it is printing out, and the quality looks great, and these are just great to make last minute gift tags and cards. So here we are cutting out. We've read the registration lines already, and now we are cutting out, and because we've flattened the images, they're going to cut out as just the one image. And I love doing this with layered files for stickers because it just works really, really well. And these, I'm just going to put them in my building stack of things I can use for Christmas gift tags. So I can just put a hole in for a hole punch, or you've got things to make cards with as well, which is dead useful. So here we are. These are our printable snowmen. They are so cute, and it's great that you can make things like this out of layered files really easily. So I'm just going to put some holes in and put some string on those. So I'm going to pop them up there. These are just other files that I've made. There's video tutorials for all of those if you want to have a go. I've got all of the pieces of our SVG snowman, and we are going to start building those now. So we're going to build it from the back. So we've got the arms to put on first. I want to keep the textured side up if I can. And I usually make my files all in one layer so that and I remove contours, but I just thought for these, and it's really good to do it this way, but I wanted to have all the different elements like the arms, the carrot nose. So a great way to do that is to build a back base, and then you build your file up like this. And the fact that we've built these out of shapes, I just love that. So now with our snowman, we're going to smother him. And he's starting to take shape. So now you can see why we did the hat separately. So that's going to go on with sticky pads. So I'm going to do a sticky pad at the top and glue at the bottom, because you've just got that separation of the layer, haven't you? And it's quite thick glitter cardstock, so that should settle it there. So it'll just lift. So we've got our tiny little noses. These are so tiny. So I'm just going to get it with the end of my tweezers. I'm going to put plenty of glue on because it's just a bit of a swine, this glitter cardstock, to stick. Once you put the carrot nose on, you can just see it's a snowman. Before then it just looks a bit bizarre. There you go, that will dry. This dries really clear anyway, so that's fine. And then we've got our scarves, so they go that way. And there you go, you've got a layered snowman or a print and cut snowman, perfect for gift tags, scrapbook layouts, and making your own cards. And we're starting to build up a bit of a collection now. And how did you find that? Isn't it easy? It's just once you get your head around working with shapes, it's so easy to design your own files. And the thing is, you get to create what's in your mind and not what somebody else is providing. So there are lots of places to get free SVG files. I will link my post below that tells you all the places you can get free downloads, but it's also good to have it in your toolkit that you can make and design your own things too. Please do share how you got on the images. Let me know what worked for you. Did you manage to create a snowman? Did you go for print and cut, or did you go for a layered file? And again, working between those two and transitioning is super easy. Thank you so much for crafting along with me. I will see you next time, and happy crafting.